I probably shouldn't admit this, but I'm going to. I, and honestly most women I know, have a serious weakness for older men who do this one thing. It's subtle, it's psychological, and once you understand it, you'll see exactly why it works. Hi, I'm Dr. Emma Blake, a urology and men's health expert. Before we get started, I have a free gift for you. It's called The 20 Questions That Make a Woman Feel Deeply Seen. These are real, psychologist-approved conversation openers that instantly deepen connection, spark curiosity, and make any woman feel emotionally safe around you. You can download it free. The link is just below this video. And I'm also really excited to share that our official X account, formerly Twitter, is now up and running. You can follow me there, join the conversation, and even send me a direct message anytime. You'll find the link just below this video in the description under the social pages section. I'm looking forward to connecting with you, hearing your thoughts, and continuing these discussions together on X. Now, let's get back to today's topic: why this works, and why most men completely miss it. You've probably said it 100 times before. You're beautiful. It feels like the right thing to say. It's polite, it's affirming, it shows appreciation. But here's the truth. Those words have lost their power. Not because beauty doesn't matter, but because every woman hears it constantly. It's become background noise, predictable, safe. And safe doesn't spark desire. Desire begins in the unexpected, in the pause between words, in the quiet awareness that makes her feel seen in a way she can't quite explain. When a man tells a woman she's beautiful, what he often means is, "I hope you'll like me for noticing." But she's been told that since she was 12. She doesn't need another reminder that she's attractive. She needs to feel recognized for her depth, her contradictions, her emotional rhythm. That's where attraction begins for women. Not in how much praise they get, but in how deeply your attention reaches. So what do you say instead? Speak to the part of her that isn't on display. Say, the way you talk about things you love. It's like the rest of the room disappears. Or, I notice how you pause before you laugh. It's hypnotic. Now you're not talking to her face, her body, or her outfit. You're speaking to her essence, and that's rare. Because when a woman feels that you see something in her no one else sees, she doesn't just feel flattered, she feels alive. That's the difference between admiration and attraction. Many men compliment women as a kind of trade, attention in exchange for approval. But true masculine presence doesn't bargain. It doesn't seek permission. It simply is. It's grounded, perceptive, and quietly confident. It reflects something real back to her, something even she didn't realize was visible. That's what real erotic intelligence is about. Not what's seen, but what's imagined. It's the spark that forms when curiosity replaces certainty, when you observe instead of perform, when presence replaces praise. So next time you're with a woman, resist the urge to fill silence with flattery. Let her speak. Listen not just to her words, but to her rhythm, her tone, the shift in her breath. Then say something like, "There's something about the way you hesitate before you answer. It feels like you think deeper than you let on." That one sentence will reach her more deeply than 1,000 "you're beautiful" lines ever could, because it requires presence to notice. Presence is what older men have the power to offer. It's not about youth, or looks, or charm. It's about steadiness. A quiet kind of awareness that says, "I'm here and I'm paying attention." That energy is magnetic because it's so rare. Beautiful isn't wrong. It's just insufficient. Women don't want to be admired like art. They want to be felt like music. They want to be experienced, not evaluated. So change the script. Step out of autopilot. Speak to what's subtle. Let her feel that you notice the sacred, the unseen. that's when she starts to lean in. That's when her imagination begins to move toward you. Because what she's drawn to isn't your compliment, it's your awareness. Your ability to make her feel relevant, not as a body, but as a force. When you reflect her ideas, her energy, her pauses, you awaken a part of her most men never reach. You activate her emotional imagination, and that's where desire begins. Now, this isn't about being intense or calculated. It's not a trick. It's attention. Real, grounded attention. If she shares a memory, don't just nod. Say something like, "It sounds like that shaped more than your personality, maybe even how you protect yourself." That's emotional precision. That's intimacy. But here's the truth. You can't fake this. You can't memorize lines and expect them to work. It only happens when you are connected, when you're aware of your own emotions, when you're calm enough to simply be there. Because the more emotionally grounded you are, the safer she feels to open. And the more she opens, the stronger her desire grows. True attraction isn't about performance. It's resonance. It's what happens when your grounded energy meets her emotional depth. She wants to feel that you feel her, not because you're trying to seduce her, but because you're present enough to notice what others overlook. That's what makes you unforgettable. As Esther Perel says, eroticism thrives where curiosity lives, and curiosity can exist when you're trying to impress. Most men kill curiosity by trying to achieve an outcome. But a woman doesn't want to be figured out. She wants to be discovered, moment by moment. That's what draws her closer. Not the chase, but the presence. And yes, it takes work. But it's the kind of work that separates the men she forgets from the one she keeps thinking about. So remember this. If you want to awaken desire, speak to what's underneath. Not the beauty she shows, but the emotion she hides. When your words, your eyes, your energy touch that space, you stop being attractive. You become desired. Because praise without presence is just noise. She doesn't need another man telling her she's beautiful. She needs to feel your depth, your steadiness, your calm. That doesn't come from flattery. It comes from grounded awareness. When you show up that way, clear, centered, fully present, she feels it in her body. She relaxes. She trusts. And her imagination opens. Women are constantly scanning for emotional safety. Not safety from danger, but safety from performance. Can she be raw without being judged? Can she be emotional without you flinching? Can she express desire without feeling used? Your energy answers all of that before you say a word. So stop reaching for praise. Stop performing for approval. Let your attention be the compliment. Because when a woman feels your presence, your curiosity, your depth, your calm, she doesn't just like you, she feels you. And that feeling is what creates real attraction.